special occasion. This is a really
It is. It's an honor. It's an honor to be here and to be shown in a museum. Many of the shoes are found object, found raw material.
Okay, wait a minute.
It's not in a dark spot. It's not. Started from the it's not stop.
That'll work. I think it's like looks like interior out of a car. A little paint in the back. It's nice and dull though. I think it's a good start.
About 4 years ago now, I started off as a clothing maker and moved rather quickly into shoes. My original fascination with shoes, I guess I got it when I was shining shoes in Chicago and in New York on the side of the street. I used to shine shoes on Rush Street. The beauty, I think, of the trade is the ingenuity and the way you really have to use your mind and your hands to make this functional object. One slip of the hand, you can ruin hours and hours of work. You know, you can gouge the shoe with just this knife, ruin it, and everything is perfect, and I've done it.
Hey, what are you working on?
A shoe. Making shoes, you know. Like always. That's
been your response for the past about year and a half now.
Oh yeah, every time you call, What are you doing? Making shoes.
That's right.
I proposed the idea of bringing the workshop to the museum. I just thought it would help the general public to actually understand the trade, or understand that the shoe is not just this product in the economy that we buy. It's art just as anything else, I think. You know, my shoes up in the exhibition, they're inspired by so many different things, art movements, other cultures that I wish to visit. This is an example. This one's new. El Lissitzky, a Russian constructivist. It's the obvious layer. Maybe you see the El Lissitzky painting in this shoe, but the not so obvious layers are just the life story that's behind it that involved me making these choices. Why I've decided to bring mechanical function into footwear, why I've decided to be so kind of rigid and structural and more architectural. That goes back to me being a carpenter for years. And that's really how I learned to be a shoemaker, is by being a carpenter. I didn't want to hold it for you because it would look fake. Sorry. Door slammed.
For us, it's been, a really incredible experience, both to show Chris's work, but also being able to have him here. And Chris has been incredibly gracious. I mean, he will stop at any time to talk to people. He's probably given 500 tours of his exhibition by now, or he's constantly taking people up there to talk about his work. And that's something that you normally don't experience when you go to a museum or gallery.
Oh.
So this is it. This is a year of work.
Yeah, this is awesome. Just in 1 year.
Yeah, me sitting in the garage, I spent, day and night just sitting in a chair and making shoe after shoe after shoe.
Wow.
When I first started making the work for this exhibition, materials were, they were financially unobtainable. So I had to just invent them, kind of almost out of thin air, it felt like. I mean, I was literally bending my nails back straight to try to get nails. I couldn't afford them, but. So this is all scrap. This is my broom, from my shop brooms. The structure of the shoes actually made from a couch I found, and also paintings from back when I was in the art school. And then this piece here is from CBGB's in New York City.
It's from there?
Yeah, I pulled it off the wall back in the 90s when I used to go. I have a whole bag of just pieces of the walls of CBGB. So these were about 19th century opium dens.
What? So this is what you would smoke opium out of?
Yes.
Wow.
Then you would lay down and smoke opium. So these were actually made for standing, so that the girl would stand in these while you smoked opium and looked up, and then you had this opium vision. I was trying to capture what it would be like if you were standing in a patent, like a tall shoe like that, and it was falling, coming down. Because everybody says, oh, that's so high, you can't walk in it, you'll fall. So I think, let's capture the emotion of falling in a shoe. But it ended up being almost like a surrealist piece. When I was a kid, my neighborhood had steel mills all around it. And we would go out back, we were always playing in the back lot. And before they shut down, the smoke billowed out of the stacks. I wanted to make this shoe that was inspired by the factory and industrial design, and have the smoke come out of the stack and the girl standing in a puff of smoke, looking lighter than air, floating above the factory town.
Thanks, man, really. This is awesome.
Thank you.
This is really cool.
Thank you so much for participating. Hello.
Thank you for putting in some different ones from a few weeks ago when we were here.
Oh yeah, there's different
That's
ones.
great.
Did you see the new ones downstairs that haven't made it up yet?
We didn't really look, yeah.
Oh, when you come
They
down,
said
then
you
you
were
gotta.
up here, so.
Yeah. People have offered to buy this off of me. One guy wanted it for his house, for his table. I said, not for sale. Nothing's for sale. There was a period of time when I collected maybe 15 to 20 of these. These I just made shoes for Steve Jones from the Pistols. I was happy to meet him. All of them, they get names. When they come back, their last are here. Ferragamo used to do that, so I kind of borrowed that little trick from Ferragamo. I'm always having to push it into a more avant-garde sort of design, and more losing function and losing sort of its relationship towards others, and they assume that it's just an unwearable object at this point. And it's because I'm bored with making shoes like this that, I can make it. I did. I've made it. I'm bored. So then well, what can I do? I'll add to it. There was a maker who, he told me to quit, basically. And he just thought I was absolutely ridiculous for what I'm doing. His uncle was like me, a lot like me. And his uncle was a shoemaker here in Los Angeles. He stuck to his guns so much, and he remained a custom maker his whole life, that his name never went on. Basically told me I was building a spruce goose. He's like, you're just so caught up in this idea of an old thing, you know, it's never gonna be successful. You need to go into the market, you need to make a brand, you need to make a line. I walked away, I guess discouraged for a minute, but then I just thought, the spruce goose flew. I'm gonna be me, but I am gonna take his advice. I'm not gonna get so wrapped up in my philosophy that I fail to see the big picture and the potential of things.
How are you?
How you doing?
Good to see you.
Dad.
Royalty in the house.
What's going on, buddy?
Dude,
How
we're
are you?
busy,
How are
busy,
you?
busy.
Yeah.
We're
Don't
crazy,
move.
no problem.
We won't bother you.
You
We
know
won't
I
bother
love you. Are you coming to dinner?
Getting here was monumental. So much has happened in 1 year. It just seems like it's nonstop. Nonstop. I never really stopped to relax and take it in. Hey, how are you?
What are you doing?
Good. Hey, good to see you.
Nice to see you, Chris.
Yeah, yeah.
Everything good?
Everything's good.
Yeah, I saw
having
more
fun.
people taking pictures of your booth at night after you leave than anything else.
Oh, really?
You made the most interesting booth I've ever seen.
Oh, man. Well, thank you.
After 40 years of doing shoe business, that's the most interesting booth.
Thank you. I had fun making it.
Then they apply a little bit on the wheel. This is beautiful. See,
Yeah. That's usually the answer to everything. I didn't have any material at the time, so this became useful.
The feedback was really positive. We had no idea going into this how it would be received.
We did those.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Oh, you worked with Fred?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You know, may say that he is an artist. Oh, he's a shoe designer. And then shoe designers say, oh, he's an artist. I feel like in the last year, he's crossed both those bridges. He's shown in museums, and he's showing at the largest trade show for the footwear fashion industry.
I realized a long, long time ago, I suppose, that the one thing that I was always good at was being me. I'm building my own house. I'm building my own vision. And however that's defined on the outside is fine. But I know how it's defined on the inside. I know its foundation. It's rooted to art. It's rooted to design. I don't see any divisions between the art world and the design world, between being an artist or a shoe designer. I'm Chris Francis. That's enough.